Okay, next we're going to take a look at classifying numbers. Make sure you have one of the blue classifying number graphic organizers from the front of the room. You're going to fill it out with me and attach it to your notebook. Okay, so this should look pretty familiar. This section right here is a section that is something that you've seen before. Real numbers, rational, irrational, integers, whole numbers, natural. The new section is this not real on the side. Okay, so when we classify numbers, we look in between real and not real. With not real, this is where you're going to have a negative square root. Okay, so as of right now, any negative square roots are not real. Okay, so those will be the one thing you're going to see. So on your paper, write negative square roots. You can give some examples: -5, -10. Okay, those will be not real numbers. Oops. Okay, every other number is real. Oops. Okay. So when we fill out the rest of our chart, I'm going to tell you each section, and you're going to create some examples. Okay. So let's start at the bottom for natural. Natural numbers are any number larger than 0, and it must be whole. So write some examples of numbers that are larger than 0 and whole. Okay, whole numbers are 0 to infinity. No decimals, no fractions. Now, when you're filling this paper out, you can write down the words that I use, but I want you to come up with your own examples. Integers. Any positive or negative number, not a fraction or decimal. So an integer can be positive or negative, but it cannot be a fraction, cannot be a decimal. Rational numbers. Any number that can be written as a fraction. Okay, if it's a decimal, it repeats or ends. And that brings us to irrational. An irrational number would be non-terminating decimal, square root of a non-perfect square. Okay, so come up with some examples of irrational numbers. And then real would be all rational and irrational numbers. Okay, so those are each section in words. I want you to think for a second and come up with some examples for each and make sure that's glued in your notebook.